Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm Community Manager Cordovan, and I'll be here with you for the next hour doing some Q&A. I'll probably be getting back to some questing, I think. I've been kind of hearing people tell me to do that, so I think I'm going to do that. Rather than stick to the festival, which is kind of, getting close-ish to the end, so we have a little more time yet. I'll talk about that. Tell you a little bit more about what we have going on in the coming weeks. And otherwise, just sort of hang out with you. As you can see, I'm trying a little bit of a different mic setup here today. I was messing around with my microphone setup for a different reason, and I thought, well, as long as it's kind of sounding better on this recording, maybe I should give it a shot and see if it just sounds better overall to improve the production quality of the show. So give me some feedback, if you would, on how the microphone sounds and whether or not it's obnoxious. Maybe my breath is going into it, whatever. Just let me know if there's any feedback you want to give me. That's perfectly fine. But otherwise, it was at least sounding a little bit better yesterday, so I think I'm going to kind of stick with it. All right. Am I joining the chicken raid on the 9th on Evernight? I wouldn't be opposed to doing that, but I think that is not going to be possible for me due to a busy schedule at the time that it's taking place. I apologize. It's a split second out of sync with the video. Well, that's no good. I'll have to look at that later. That's probably a Twitch setting. I can't really mess with that before I go live on the air. I'm going to have to delay something by a couple milliseconds, probably, to sync it up. Use helium. Someday, maybe. I don't know that I've ever actually done that. Might be fun, though, sometime. All right, so what do we got going on before I bounce in game and we actually just kind of have some fun here today if we can? We do have a bonus going through September 8th. That is a VIP event. VIP event kicked off yesterday, 10 a.m., runs through September 9th, gets turned off formally at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. We do have the Farmers Fair, which was mentioned earlier. I ran that last week on the stream, but I think I'm going to get back to questing this week. Although I did have one thing I was going to do first as well, a little bit of a tutorial spawned by a private message conversation this week. I thought, hey, why don't I just take care of that on the stream? That way, if I'm not the only one, or if that person is not the only one with that issue, then, have a nice little guide there. So, anyway, Farmers Fair runs through September 14th. 14th, yes, that got extended. So, September 14th, that would be not this weekend, not next, next weekend will be a week from this weekend will be the final weekend. And it gets shut off at 9... Just had it in my head. Okay, the 15th at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. So through the 14th, being shut off at the 15th, 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome. We've got someone watching from France, and someone saying, save the Mexican pizza. That's a Taco Bell thing. I happen to see that in the news. I happen to agree. Although I will say this. So some people know I'm a vegetarian, right? And for years and years and years, regardless of what was going on kind of around the world and that sort of thing, one could get a vegetarian food at that fast food chain because of that particular menu item. So I have a bit of a soft spot for it. So I'll support that hashtag, I think. I'll support that, I think. Yeah. Any news on transfers? Only that there were conversations that took place this week about when the work that needs to be done can get done. And it has been, for a while now, on the plate of people who are working on it and working to get to it. when they're busy doing other things as well, of which there have been many other things, unfortunately, in recent weeks. Up to and including things like, say, server instability, game releases, the end of our free questing period, and just kind of a whole bunch of work just got piled on. So, as people are well aware, it's taken a long time to get world transfers back in a complete state. And, all I can really say about that is that we have been working on it, and it will be available, hopefully in the near future, but certainly in the future, if not near qualifying. You would like to have a live video explaining why we have dated graphics from 2006. Well, I'm sorry about that. I mean, the game was made in 2007. I don't think we look like that. But yes, a bull roar will be open soon. I don't know the exact details of what content they are planning to release at this time, but it's something that I would expect to hear more about in the near future. Alright, what do we got else? So, I covered transfers. Somebody in Twitch chat's asking about a specific EU regulatory law impact thing. I have no idea. I would need to read a lot more about what you're talking about before I was able to provide any sort of cogent response to it, so I apologize there. Also, I'm surprised you got away with that username. Okay, has Amazon been in touch with us about their MMO? No. No, that's a completely separate thing. Completely separate. Is it possible to play Locher on Wine? Yes, player supported. Not official game support, but player supported. I do believe there is a Wine available for pre-Catalina OSs. Unfortunately, it is not currently functioning beyond Catalina. So I know that impacts a growing number of people on the Mac side. That is the likely long-term scenario of it. However, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we have nothing to announce, and we've had nothing to announce for quite some time regarding post-Catalina support for our Mac client through Wine. However, if you are a big gamer on Mac, there's also a fairly decent chance that maybe you too are pre-Catalina, not just because of this issue, but other games that might be having similar issues. And if that is the case for you, then yes, actually, as long as you are pre-OS Catalina, there is a Lotra Wine client that you can actually download from us at lotra.com/language download. All right. We have someone asking about when will we get some Warden classwork. I'm not, unfortunately, in a great position to answer that. Really, things have not changed significantly from the prior week in terms of my ability to respond to what class is going to get worked on when, unfortunately. But as soon as I know more, you'll most likely see it in Bulwar release notes. But at the very least, we'll do our best to let you know as soon as we have classwork that starts to get into the notes. I mean, we've been doing it, but that specific one with Wardens, that's where you'll see it. Sorry I don't have better news for you this week. There is a lot of juicy soon TM. I know there is. I know, Squirrel. You're right. So here's what we can say. I mean, right, we got the War of Three Peaks update. That's been previously announced. That's coming next, and that's coming pretty soon. Pretty soon here, really. I mean, now that we're already kind of into September here, we've got some stuff to talk about here and show off on Bull Roar and such in the near future. So we're going to be doing War of Three Peaks stuff. We just had Farmers Fair. We're going to have Harvest Math. Yuletide. We'll have some kind of producer's letter. Let's just say January. It's going to get released in January. Mark my words. Today, September 7th, I promise the producer's letter will get released in January. And I'm saying this knowing full well that this is a joke, people. It will not happen. Me saying it has now just jinxed it from ever happening in January. But theoretically, something like that early in the year. So we actually do have quite a bit to talk about, so. January, July, they both start with J. All right. So what am I actually doing here? What I'm actually doing is, so I got a private message this week from someone who had, actually I need to log into my other character real quick so that I can, because that's the owner of this place. So what I'm going to do is show you real quick how to put pets and mounts into your hitching posts and housing decorations. It will just take a minute. I'm going to basically spend just some quick mithril to get it done, and I'll show you kind of how it works. The reason I want to do this is that I received a private message this week from someone who has been struggling to make it sort of function the way that they think it's supposed to work, and had some questions about the actual functionality of how it gets returned to you, what it looks like in your inventory, things like that. So I figured, what the heck, let's go take care of that right now and give everyone here a quick tutorial on this sort of thing. Oh god, Bloodborne. Okay, god. Can I elaborate on the comment I made on the forums last week about the LI work being worked on this year? Alright, so what happened there is clearly based on what we may have put in the producer's letter in, was it like February of this year? Based on a timetable of December of the year prior, right? We had wanted to do some more extensive LI work, I believe, by this point than most folks would have assumed we would have gotten done so far. So I wanted to clarify that the LI work based on that timetable was, you know, obviously not being exactly met, and therefore, you know, that work is still pending. I didn't want to promise it for, say, this fall, because I was of the impression that the people who needed to do that work were, frankly, super busy with, like, a pile of other work before they could even consider getting to it. That was my understanding. However, when I made that statement on, was it the forums based on what I said on the live stream, I actually had someone from the team come to me and say, oh, correct that. No, we actually do have some LI work coming this year. So I went to the forums and said, we have some LI work coming this year. And that is the long-form version of how that came about. I know nothing further beyond that. Okay. So, for example, let's just say I want to put a mount on this hitching post. Note that I already have a mount on this hitching post. That's this one, or one of them somewhere. I don't know. Let's see which one. Yeah, that one. All right, first let me get them over to here, just for stream visibility, because why not? Morink. There you go. Hello, horsey. All right, so hitching post. Item already slotted. Mount decoration. This is how it's going to look. It has a generic kind of front to it. You can move it around just like you normally would. However, let's just say you want to replace that mount, and you don't already have a mount item, but I do have a mount item. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to pretend I do not, and I'm going to spend a couple of mithril and make one for you. So, figure out which mount you want to do. If you don't have it in your hotbar or something like that, just go to your mounts and figure out which mount you want to make into a decoration. Because I'm doing this, might as well at least do one I don't already have. I don't think I've got a Festive Azure, and I like this one. So you're going to want to drag it to like a skill bar or something like that. You won't have an item to place yet. That's why. So you're going to just drag this to the inventory. Spend, you know, a mithril for a steed halter there. Boink. Looks like I'm going to actually need to pick up a little mithril. Should have checked. And you'll see then the new mount is in the decoration. Well, what happened to the old mount? The old mount is in my inventory as an item, decoration category hitching post, bound to account. When it's placed back into your inventory from replacing it, it'll actually have the icon of which mount it is. So while it is not able to get that UI in the hitching post decoration UI itself, when it returns to your inventory, this is what it's going to look like. The actual, say, skill icon of the mount that you're doing. Okay? All right. So I think that's it. And so let's just say you want to replace it. Oh my God. What was I thinking? That is a terrible idea. Boom. And you can just swap it back out. And then you've got, you know, the Festive Azure pony sitting in your inventory. Now, I'm going to do this real quick then, finally, for pets as well, although, like I said, it looks like I'm going to have to pick up a little mithril to do it, because making a pet token... Well, actually, I've got one here I can use, but... Making a pet token is the same process. So, let's just say I want to change this. Right now, I've just got a property guard there, and let's just say I want to put this goose. You know, I made the same process. I'll do it for you just to... Actually, I can do it without having to spend. So let's just say I want to get... Farmer Maggot's dog, right? Moink. It'll cost 20 mithril coin. Oh, I do have the balance. Okay. Housing... Create a housing decoration item from a skill. So, you'll click yes. It'll auto-populate in there, and it'll, by default, already be in the game world. See? There's Farmer Maggot's dog. Now, what happened, again, to the property guard that was in that slot? It goes into your inventory. Again, bound to account. Deco category, small yard. If you have a housing carry-all, it'll go into that, and you've got it set to auto-gather. It'll go into that instead. Anyone got any questions? And then again, you know, if you want to swap it out, you just do, and the new deco will just show up in your inventory like that. So, all right, I think that's where we want to be on that then. So let me quick log into my other character, and we'll get it done. When will we get to do the racial change? That should be in the near future. We do have a little bit of work we have to do on it yet, unfortunately. As we kind of stated, was it a week or so ago now? We discovered a second bug that, while rare, was significant enough that we did not feel comfortable releasing the race change token. So we have to do that work yet. And when we do that work, then it'll get released. Probably one of the big updates in the near future. That's the most likely scenario. And again, I'm just going to spend mithril to go straight to where I want to be. Beacon not out yet. Anyone know the new coupon code? I do, and you can too. You can too by going to the forums. And in the forums, you will see a section called Lotro Store Sales and Promotions. And then, in Lotro store sales and promotions, you'll see each weekly sale. At the bottom of that, I put in the weekly coupon. That is usually up by mid-afternoon on Thursdays. Mid-afternoon on Thursdays is my target to get the store sales thread up on the forums. There we go. Yeah, uni-opting. Universal optional ingredient. UNI, OPT, ING. Yeah, we usually try to go something like that pretty regularly. So. Cooling. Gosh. Okay. Move it, worms. No. I mean, that's not very nice. Why would you do that? Oh, also, let me make sure I don't have my fishing pole equipped, like I did when I logged into the game yesterday for Kinship Night, and then started to do a Mines of Moria instance, that kind of difficult one. That was, what, Book 2, Chapter 8? Is that the one I'm thinking of? And then realized I was at a fishing pole equipped instead of my third ager, right? So that was fun. In the middle of combat. That's what I get. Am I just waiting? Okay. Will it reset racial deeds or give you that race's deeds? My understanding of the way it works on the system side is that it will preserve the racial deed progress of your former race and then essentially start fresh anew under the new racial deeds specifically. Things that are not racial deed specific should just carry over, but if you do have a specific deed that is associated with your race, then you're essentially going to stop making progress on the deed for that race and then start making progress for deed completion on your new race.
Does anyone else desire to flee?
We are not afraid of you, Wraith.
You not, foolish ranger. This one knows what to fear.
No, so,
Was the deception?
it costs mithril with a hitching post or a housing item to create that housing item. Once created, however, that housing item will transport with you without any issue. So you'll be able to just pop it in a different slot, what have you. Oh. Oops. Let's get something else there for now. How about that? So, the answer to the question of does it cost mithril to place a housing item is yes, only if you are creating a housing item. If you already have a housing item you've created, like the ones that I demonstrated earlier, then you won't have to worry about that. You can just place the item without any mithril cost.
Were easily exploited.
Nothing to announce today, Eileen, on Facebook about what the level cap increase or whether there will be a level cap increase with Gundabad next year. That's clearly something, that we would be discussing at some point in time, whether that is indeed the case. But I can't make any sort of announcement on that today. Sorry. No ETA to announce on racial changes, and the reason for that is that we still have to do a little work on that bug. Then it has to sort of get checked into a build and checked out by QA, and then procced and placed and all that sort of thing like it needs to. And until that work is done, it's really just too premature to give you an ETA. And, you know, I know that you're interested. We're interested in telling you as well, but we're just not there yet.
Every triumph inspires us, Gothmog.
Any news on Figments of Splendor seasonal vendors? Nothing to announce today, but I will say that in the relatively near future, we're going to be changing it out. I can't remember what we're changing it out to, plus I wouldn't want to announce that at this point. However, that will be happening in the near future, and what I'm going to try to do is get the word out ahead of time when a vendor is going to be going away, so that hopefully at the very least I could say, like, well, okay, if you want to get this vendor, even if I can't tell you who the next vendor is or whatever, due to whatever, at least I can hopefully tell you when the vendor is going to be going out. That's my goal here, so we'll kind of see where we end up. But that's the plan. And that means that, yes, the vendor's going to change relatively soonish, but not that soon, so, you know.
We won! Gothmog is no more!
I remember when this got recorded. I remember this VL got recorded. I'm going to shut up for a second.
This has been a most entertaining diversion. But now, it ends.
There we go. Am I supposed to just go up? No, I can't. I guess I'm just dodging for a while, huh?
We must weaken him somehow. We must draw upon his past defeats. Remind him of his losses.
Loser! Okay, I'll basically call him a loser. Hey, loser. Alright, there we go.
It is working!
I wouldn't want to give a name of the voice actor without double checking. I can't remember, unfortunately, off the just very top of my head which one it was. It is... Gosh, I do know the name, I just can't think of it right now. Hopefully if I can remember it by the end of the show, I'll try. He's a regular for both of our games, frankly. as are quite a few of our voice actors. If they're great for, you know, doing big bad evil monsters, they're often applicable to either game, right? But also, there are some that are very much one game specific and some that are very much another game specific. So it's a mix. Cool. Oh, yes. Thank you, lolzo underscore on Twitch for bringing this up. We made a change this week on Wednesday. I think it was, no, Thursday, right? Yesterday? That requires the Steam wallet to now open in an external web browser. Now, the reason for that is we had an issue well reported just recently where players were unable to make purchases through the Lotro store with their Steam wallet. So this resolves that issue. It is, however, you know, a change in that rather than opening up the Lotro store inside of the game client, it'll open up a web browser, your default web browser, and then go to, you know, that same location online that you can then make the purchase with your Steam wallet. So, Steam wallet functionality is back. That's the good news. It is a little bit of a change. Whether that ends up being permanent, which is what the question is asking, or not, is a little unclear at this point. The intention is to make it not permanent. But also, we had an issue, as you're aware, that the Steam wallet was unavailable to users for, you know, longer than we would have liked. And this was our way of being able to resolve it in a potentially long-term way very quickly. And whether or not we're able to work through the remaining issues that in part caused that time to become extended will just have to depend on how things go in the future. Our intention is to make it, you know, just bring it back into the native in-game store. But that's really going to depend on a bunch of factors that are somewhat unknown, frankly, talking to you today.
I sense the presence of my bones. They are nearby. We are so near.
Alright, so where am I going? Let me see. Is there anything here? No? Okay. So this way? Let's see. Beneath the beacon atop Barad Cool. Guess it's out this way. There we go. Oh, yeah. Okay. That beacon. Oh, that could be a little tough. Let's see. Do I need to worry about anything? Meh. Now you shall die! Oh my god, that's actually kind of a lot, isn't it? I can do this! I'm good! I'm good. Yeah, so. I'm not. But I don't care. I do care, kind of. But I also don't. And I would just start. Oh, I'm totally gonna die. Oh my god. How about I do a little better this time and maybe try not to pull the whole group, huh? Or do I even need to go there? I don't even know that I need to go there. let's see. Where am I going here? I'm not seeing it. Must be doing something wrong. All right. Interesting. I guess I am not as prepared as I thought I was. I thought I knew where I'd be going, but it doesn't look like I actually do. So I don't know. Anyone in chat got a hint for me, maybe? We keep asking him why he is not dual wielding. He is not answering. Good question. I should probably be dual wielding, should I not? I guess the reason is because I like this sword. I guess it's worked for me. I've been enjoying using it, and I kind of like how it looks. But yes, I know. Okay, fine. It's inside the tower, left or right of the throne up the stairs. Okay. Oh. Over this way. Really? Okay, well, not seeing anything this way. That's fine. Let's try the other side. There we are. Thank you so much in chat, by the way. I appreciate it. What can I say? Sometimes you don't know, right? Or at least sometimes I don't know. I can still use that sword, just add another one lol. Okay. Alright. Okay. Point taken. I don't know. I mean... Yes. You're right, yes. But let me counter with this. Play however the hell you want. And get off my back. Re-equip my offhand. Yeah, that's probably just what I need to do. Alright. Fine. If it'll make you guys shut up. Okay. Anyway, I was going to counter with this before I got rude, and I apologize. But, you know, I get a little sick of it sometimes, too. If there's one thing playing MMOs over the years has taught me. It's that there is a correct way to do things, and then there is also lots and lots of fine ways to do things if you don't require X, Y, and Z to be the way things, quote, must be done. And I tend to be in that latter group. And I generally do it by this. Am I getting through the content? Yes. Am I generally getting through the content without dying a whole bunch? Yes. Am I enjoying myself? Yes. Okay. Well, there is a section I haven't been to, so let's check that out. Alright, then it's probably on the other side then. So I'm not seeing anything to interact with in the gardens, so it's probably down here. No, wait a second. Yes, okay. Maybe? Find the casket containing Isildur's bones. I'm gonna guess I don't have to go back. It must be around here somewhere, and I'm just not seeing it at the moment. Anything in here? No, no, no. I'm not seeing a casket. Maybe I just need to keep killing a few things? Let's see what happens. Oh, there we go. Gosh, what should I talk about here? There are a few things that I could mention. We did mention that the Farmers Fair is continuing through the 14th, but you do want to take advantage of that if you can. There's all sorts of new stuff along with housing items. We do have a VIP event boost going on, so that's cool. There we go.
I thank you for this, my friend.
What peace does this shade think to find? What peace does he deserve? My enemies approach of Thorin Guan, but they are unworthy of its secrets.
The sooner
Hi.
his evil is gone from this
About the only thing I haven't gotten from the regular weekly is what's the status of PvMP, and that, you know, again, is just a situation where we do want to do some PvMP work. We actually do. You know, our system, we have people on the systems team who say, man, I'm hoping to get to it. And unfortunately, the dating has not so far worked out, however. But that is something we do want to do, so I guess I could mention that. If you want to know what the VIP event boost does, and if it wasn't so long, I'd probably include it. But you can mouse over the little icon by your avatar there in the party list and get a sense of what the VIP event boost does. 100% XP gain on kills, crafting, completions by quest, legendary item, mount to combat XP, earned crafting XP increased by 25% and 25% mark acquisition.
Did you hear that? Someone comes! Someone else has entered the tower. Be on guard.
Are the VIP perks going to become passives? People always forget to pick up the item. No, I understand that the technological solution of having to speak to the NPC every 48 hours or so isn't the most convenient thing in the world. It is, however, pretty easy to do, and they're available in Bree, for example. So I think that's the way it's going to be for a while here. Boromond, I know that at the time we decided not to do make goods and all of our bonuses during the server issues simply because it would have become somewhat unwieldy. So, but that crafting XP boost weekend that got impacted will be returning, I'm pretty sure, in the near future. Oh. Well. I'm not terrible at avenging things, at least. Let's get ready to rumble! Yeah. Sorry. The mouse pad needs a little work. It's sliding for some reason. Anyway, I'm sorry for speaking out. That was not very professional of me. I should just take it. Oh. Well, too late now. Yeah. Nope. Wait a second. Where am I going? Okay. Jesus. That was a cool mob. Yeah, that was real cool. I've been, despite what I was just saying, I've actually been enjoying this content quite a bit. Yeah. You're going down. Actually, you're going down after I do. Meh. There we go. That was cool. That was cool. Stampion, I'm all right. I will survive, and Ugrigor will not. That's why I am alive. All right.
Have you escaped serious injury? Arnoth was not so fortunate. By the tree of Gondor, Gothmog clings to life.
Mordor should have been mine.
Even with his last breath, he raged against Gondor and shamed his people.
Okay, I'm going out. And I think this is probably going to be pretty close to where I ended here. I'll probably just do a couple more questions and then call it. And then we can do a final escape perhaps next Friday on Court of the Rings. And I will make sure I've got my things properly equipped. I blame fishing. Also just not paying attention to it. Anyway, so there you go. So Samira on Facebook, the reason your external store link, your link to the Lotro store is now happening externally rather than through the in-game game client is due to a change we made this week that permits you to use the Steam wallet for your transaction. So I'm assuming basically by the nature of your question that you are in fact playing the game on Steam. And if that is indeed the case, then that is why it is being opened externally rather than internally. Otherwise, the reasoning for it to be doing that would be as if you had an outdated operating system. For example, if you were on, like, I think anything basically pre-Windows 7 and maybe even Windows 7. And so that's what's up. So it's opening externally based on your default web browser as of this week. All right, I actually am, I'm going to pop back in here so that I don't have to worry about mobs when I load into the game next time. And I'm going to call it a show. We have got the Tolkien Professor up here in just a couple of minutes. Is Lotro ever going to release the Perlino Pony horse mount again? Kinek says on Facebook, I would suggest that you consider private messaging one Cordovan, Cordovan, on the forums of Lord of the Rings Online. Private message me online. I will get you one. Because the Perlino steed is currently in what is called the community loot list. That's a list of items that I have permission to give away to others for things like anniversaries, events, special occurrences, and not the Perlino steed, but some other things occasionally, even for, wide server events that might be going on, like Weatherstock. Oh, which, by the way, let me mention, Weatherstock is September 12th. That's not this weekend, but that is the weekend following, and that's going to be a big in-game concert on Landreval. You know what Weatherstock is. Anyway, you're going to be able to watch it here on twitch.tv/LotroStream. And I think that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll talk to you next week.